can video my hands.
All right, here we are. We are going to feed the starter. So here is the starter right there. Now you can see what we do with the starters. I like to use a tall, kind of slender jar because that allows the starter room to rise, and you will see later on that it does in fact rise quite a bit. I also like to use that elastic band to indicate where the dough started at before it started to rise. And then you'll see this very clever contraption where we're using a little bit of parchment paper as a cover and the lid still is able to screw on over top of it. All right, this is about a 750 milliliter jar. So Bailey's just gonna pop her open, take that stuff off, and the first thing she's gonna do is take one of the spoons here and she's gonna dump out about everything but a couple of 3 tablespoons of the starter into that bin over there. Go ahead and do that. You can talk to Bailey.
How much?
So almost all of it. So look, so you look inside. So we can see what she's doing there. She's taken it almost all of it out. You can see how your jar gets quite dirty because.
What's the purpose of taking almost all of it out?
Okay, so most of what's in there right now is actually, it's like almost dead yeast or very exhausted yeast, and so the energy and all the nutrients or whatever that the yeast uses in the flour and water mixture has almost been spent. Right, so that's why we're going to refeed the starter.
How's
so
that?
Let's have a quick look. I'm just going to look inside it. I'm going to look. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Yeah. Now, some people will get you to weigh it out and stuff, but I find that to be just basically a waste of time. If you basically just leave a little bit of just a little bit of starter in there, like a couple 3 tablespoons, that's good. So go ahead and put it on the scale. And then we'll just restart the scale just by hitting that guy there. So, okay, so now we've dumped most of the starter out. So all we're gonna do is we're going to take some white flour, okay, white unbleached flour, and then also some whole wheat flour. And we're gonna put about 30 grams of each of them into the jar, okay? So what we do is we set it, of course, so that the setting is at 0, so then you can start putting it in and you'll be able to measure about 30 grams.
I have no idea how much 30 grams is, like how much?
That's probably about 15 grams right there, that spoon. So there you go. So there you go.
16.
Right? Okay, so approximately 30, okay? So like if it's 31 or 35 or whatever, it's no big deal, okay?
I like to be precise.
Yeah, Bailey likes to be precise. It's in her nature. Okay, and then go ahead and grab some of the whole wheat. So basically we're putting about 60 grams of flour in total in here.
And if you don't have white and whole wheat, it's okay to just use all white then.
It's okay to use all white. Whole wheat actually has a little more yeast kind of particles on it, and the yeast kind of likes that a little bit better, so that's why we use a little combination of the two. But if you just had only white flour, that would be fine too. You can still, especially if your starter is pretty active, that's no big deal. Okay?
All right, good to go.
All right, good to go. Okay, so now we're going to put in roughly 60 grams of water. So we're just going to grab a cup and we're just going to put some tap water in. We don't want it too hot. We want it like, you know, like if it feels warm to your hand, it's probably like 90 to 100 degrees or more. So we want it to be a little less than that. We want it to be kind of like 80 or 90 degrees.
I don't know Fahrenheit at all. So you want it to be less than room temperature.
So this feels fairly warm, right? Like,
yeah.
And so that would be probably about 90, 95 degrees.
But what am I looking for? I don't.
That's
want
perfect.
It to be warm? Okay.
Yeah, you want it to be just a little bit above room temperature, kind of like pool temperature. And then you want 60 grams to go in there.
And that's usually approximately how much of water?
Just start pouring a little bit there and see what you get. So you want it to be 120, right? Because it was already at 60. Okay. And again, approximations are okay here as long as you're fairly close. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So what we're doing is to summarize, right? We're leaving starter behind by dumping some of it, but not all of it out. Leaving a couple, 3 tablespoons behind, adding 60 grams of flour and 60 grams of water. right? So everything's in a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, and now we just take our spoon and we mix it up very vigorously. So right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to make sure it's well mixed, okay? And then that's it. So what we've done, we've accomplished by doing that is we've fed our starter, okay? And you can take it off onto the counter because you. And so keep going. It's not mixed enough yet.
All right.
Okay. And so, anyways, I'm going to cut off the video here.
Okay.